The BBC will be airing a dedicated live stream of Her Majesty the Queen's lying-in-state ceremony for viewers around the world who wish to pay their respects. Thousands of people arrived in London to pay tribute to the Queen and mark the historic occasion. The service will be available in the UK via the BBC homepage, the BBC News website and app, iPlayer, BBC Parliament, and by pressing the red button on TV. The stream will also be available internationally via bbc.com/news, and it will be available from 5 p.m. today, September 14th. Queen's funeral guest list in full, all the royals and world leaders confirmed so far. Westminster Abbey's 2,000-person capacity is expected to be filled to honour Britain's longest reigning monarch next week. The event will be one of the largest diplomatic occasions of the century, and the guest list is expected to include politicians, world leaders, and European royals. This is equal to 9 a.m. Pacific time for those watching elsewhere. The Queen's coffin travelled down from Scotland to London with people queuing for up to 35 hours to pay tribute. The lying-in-state period will take place from now until the funeral on Monday, September 19, which has been declared a national bank holiday. Both the BBC and ITV have updated their programme schedules to make way for coverage of the funeral. The event will last from 8 a.m. BST, 12 a.m. PT, to 5 p.m. BST, 9 a.m. PT, and will be one of the most watched UK TV broadcasts in history. Media networks from across the world have made their way to London to document the historic moment. The state funeral will take place at Westminster Abbey, and afterwards, the Queen's coffin will be drawn in a walking procession from the Abbey to Wellington Arch. The coffin will eventually make its final journey that afternoon to Windsor Castle. Royal poll: should Prince Harry be allowed to wear military uniform for Queen's services? The Duke of Sussex has been banned from wearing military uniform to pay respects to his late grandmother, while an exception has been made for Prince Andrew. Should Harry, who has seen active duty, be permitted to wear his uniform? The occasion will be one of the first state funeral in the UK since 1965, which was held for the former Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was also lying in state in 2002. King Charles is at Buckingham Palace and has been waving at the crowds gathered nearby. Westminster Hall began allowing the public in on Tuesday and will do so until 6:30 a.m. on the day of the funeral. Lying in state is a tradition where the body of a deceased monarch or official is placed in a state building. This is to allow members of the public to pay their respects. The Queen's closed coffin bears a royal flag and is rested on a raised platform called a catafalque. The coffin is guarded by a military guard around the clock. Queen's death sparks bizarre tribute from Morrisons, leaving customers baffled at checkout. Morrisons has turned the beeping sound off on their self-checkout tills to pay its respects to the late Queen, according to frustrated shoppers. Shoppers have expressed their confusion at the move, which has reportedly caused queues at some self-checkouts. At the lying-in-state service, the Queen's coffin will have the orb and scepter placed on top. Tributes have continued to flood in for the late monarch, with King Charles III saying his mother's life was well lived. He said, "Her dedication and devotion as sovereign never wavered, through times of change and progress, through times of joy and celebration, and through times of sadness and loss. Thank you for your love and devotion to our family and to the family of nations you have served so diligently all these years."